Commander Eliza Voss had seen the Scareth hunt before. 20 years patrolling the outer rim had taught her their patterns, the way they circle prey in zero gravity, their segmented tails coiling like electromagnetic whips, the clicking language that preceded every strike. But she'd never seen them this deep in Alliance space, and certainly not stalking a training frigate full of fresh cadets. The distress beacon had pulled her scout ship from its routine survey 3 hours ago. By the time she'd docked with the Prometheus, the cadets' panicked chatter had gone silent on all channels. Through the airlock's porthole, she counted 7 Scareths slithering through the corridor, their chitinous bodies gleaming under emergency lighting. Their tails, those infamous appendages lined with neural barbs, dragged behind them like living chains. Eliza checked her weapons, 1 plasma cutter, standard issue. 3 smoke charges. A maintenance drone she jury-rigged with a speaker system. Against 7 Scareth, it was laughable. But the cadets were hiding somewhere in the engineering section, and she had maybe 15 minutes before the Predator's echolocation pinpointed them. She triggered the drone, sending it rattling through the ventilation shafts. Her recorded voice echoed through the ship's corridors, "Scareth hunting party, this is Commander Voss. I'm alone in the port bay. No weapons. Come claim your prize." It was a lie that would cost her life if she'd miscalculated. But Eliza had studied Scareth psychology at the academy, back when they were still considered potential allies. They were pack hunters with rigid hierarchy, and they couldn't resist isolated prey. More importantly, they were territorial, violently so when it came to feeding rights. The clicking intensified. Through the security feeds on her wrist display, she watched all 7 Scareth change direction, their segmented bodies undulating toward her position. Good. She sealed the engineering section's bulkhead behind them. Phase 2 required precision. Eliza fired a smoke charge into the corridor junction where it branched into 4 passages. The Scareth scattered on instinct, each taking a different route. She'd counted on that. Their hierarchical disputes always surfaced when the pack separated. She triggered 2 more charges at strategic intersections, hurting them through the ship's geometry like pieces on a chessboard. By the time they converged on the port bay, they were agitated, disoriented, and most critically, tangled. The ship's artificial gravity had been fluctuating since the attack, and in the shifting fields, the Scareth's tails had become weapons against themselves. They'd instinctively lashed out at shadows and smoke, and their neural barbs had locked together wherever they touched. Eliza stood in the bay's center, plasma cutter raised, as the first Scareth rounded the corner. Its tail caught on the second one's, and they both shrieked, that horrible metallic screech that meant pain. The third and fourth crashed into them, their tails whipping frantically, barbs sinking deep into alien flesh. Within seconds, all 7 were a writhing mass, their own hunting appendages knotted into an inextricable tangle. The neural barbs contained a paralytic venom that Scareth were immune to, when used on other species. But barb-to-barb contact created a feedback loop. Eliza had seen it once, on a research station where 2 Scareth had fought over territory. The venom turned inward, locking their nervous systems in cascading seizures. She didn't wait to watch them collapse. Sealing the bay's inner door, she activated the emergency airlock purge. The outer door opened to the void, and the tangled mass of predators tumbled into space, still writhing, still hopelessly bound together by their own weaponized anatomy. 15 minutes later, she found the cadets huddled in the engine room, 23 terrified kids who thought they were going to die today. The youngest couldn't have been more than 19, still wearing his academy ring. "How did you?" one of them started. "Scareth hunt in packs," Eliza said, already moving toward the bridge to restore communications. But they never learned to hunt together. Their evolution made them perfect predators. It also made them their own worst enemy. She left out the part about luck, about the million ways her plan could have failed. Command would want a full debrief, but for now, the cadets were safe, and 7 Scareth were learning a hard lesson about apex predators. Sometimes the greatest threat comes from within.